Uh, Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm gonna get straight to this because I want to get something to eat, and I just want to relax, trying to get my mind right a little bit more. I just got through praying, and this will come to me. I'm gonna pray again before I get ready to read what come to me. I'm just gonna simply ask, Mighty God, Yahweh, Adonai Rapha, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. I want to make it clear to God who I'm calling and praying to. I want everybody to know that it's not Ra, it's not Dagon, not Ashtar, not any of these gods that I continue to fight with, continue to try to manipulate me, Father. And I want you, Heavenly Father, want you to make it known that I do have a heart for you, even if I make mistakes, even if I sometimes speak things that not come from you because of manipulation or just flat out, I'm gonna say sorcery and witchcraft, because I know I'm dealing with a lot of that too. You only back up what it is that you say, and I only expect you to back up what you say, Heavenly Father. There's some things in here that got me kind of puzzled, got me kind of doubting a little bit, but when I seen the face of that person that came to me to try to ask me about if something was okay, and you reminded me of that, that's the only reason why I'm on here right now. So I'm going to ask you in the mighty name of Yeshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, if this not you, to let me know so I can just turn this off, get off of here. If this is you, Lord, then I know you know how to let me know that it's you. Think about Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9, and trust and believe. All right. I'm going to read Deuteronomy. Thank you, if it's you, Lord. I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9 to 14. When thou art coming to the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abomination of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or observer of time, or enchanter, or witch, or charmer, or consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these things are abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord thy God do drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. For these nations which thou shalt possess hearken unto observers of time, unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God has not suffered thee to do so. And I was reminded about this while I was praying. This will come to me while I was praying, because I want to make this long. 2/7/2025, 6:01 p.m. I just got through praying. I was told to read Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9 to 14, 3 times, and that they will soon come to understand it. I was told to give the warning from this morning, and was told to remember Exodus chapter 7, verse 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to what come to me this morning, talk about that, and then I'm going to end it with Exodus chapter 9. Okay. This morning, okay, 2/7/2025, 10:09 a.m. At the end of my prayer, I said, I'm sorry. Sorry, Father. It don't make sense to me, Lord. I kept hollering out death, and this was coming up out of me. This, and the way that it was coming up out, I was hollering out death. It was like something was taking over me that wasn't right. Okay, I'm gonna say that wasn't right, but I know that sometimes I've had encounters where I've spoken ways that I didn't understand, and it was accurate. And when I say real accurate, what come to me. But the way that this was coming up out of me was just, I don't know, I guess just hearing that word like that and hollering it out. You know what I mean? You know, when you hear death and you're hollering out like that, anybody that don't feel that something is wrong with it, then I believe something is wrong with them. So that was the feeling of like, okay, this why is this coming in? Because while I was praying, I was asking God to remember again, John chapter 14, verse 26, John 15, chapter 26, and John chapter 16, verse 13. It's been my constant thing now. Because I know that was a promise that Jesus, he left us. It was a promise for us who believe that the Comforter was coming, the Spirit of truth would come. So I was calling on that promise that was made. Some people might say that was just what Jesus said. It wasn't a promise, but it was a promise to me because it made it clear for us who believe we would not be left. You know, he wasn't going to leave us. He would be there. So I've been standing on that. So anyway, you know, I was hollering out death. As I prayed, as I prayed, earlier, I asked Father Yahweh to let me come to the foot of the cross. Now remember, at the end of my prayer, I went to hollering out death. But at the beginning of my prayer, I was asking him to come and let me be at the foot of the cross like he did once before, and let me make that trip to heaven again to let me make the trip to heaven again, where I could be touched by him again. I kept reminding him of Jesus' promise for those that believe in them, in the Father and the Son, that the Comforter in John chapter 14, verse 26, like I said, I got a little ahead of myself, and 15 and 26, would come, as well as the Spirit of truth that would reveal all things to you or to us. That's written in John chapter 16, verse 13, as I said earlier. As I continue to pray this, I seen a dark shadow appear in the spirit realm like a bird. It was shaped like a bird. It then went to the East Coast and spread from the East Coast down to Florida. Now, where the bird first went at, it looked like somewhere around maybe New Jersey or North Carolina, and it spread it up, then it spread it down. But what was so eerie about this is the way that it spread, because it didn't go up and down. It seemed like it started coming inwards too, and then that's when I lost sight of it. Let me do up and down the East Coast to Florida. This thing covered what looked like maybe 10 to 15 states. I then kept hollering out death. Okay. I just remember it looked like the shadow just kept on spreading itself. Like I said, before this, I was told that this country was going to have many attacks on it. I done talked about this already before. I was told that they was even going to try and make it many attacks to keep the police off, off of the place, or keep. It was basically they was going to be doing this to keep the police busy and away from what they really was trying to do. Okay, that's what was coming to me. I don't write it down. Sometimes I write too fast, but I remember it was a lot of the stuff that was going to be going. They were going to keep the police busy or keep it where things was going to be happening to draw away from what really was going to be going on. Okay. So I said, if this is really you, then please let me make that trip again to you so I can be touched and feel again. Well, I noticed you speaking, okay? Because I wasn't gonna get this message. After I asked this, after I asked this different sounds started to flow through me. And I was told to read Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14, 7 times. I ended up having to post that because it kept on coming to me. And then, like I said, different sounds was coming up out of me, like an instrument. And some of these sounds, I would have to say the frequency of them is it ain't from here, okay? It ain't from here, okay? Then I was reminded about Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9. Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1 to 9, and Ezekiel chapter 8. The feeling I got was, this isn't just a Super Bowl warning. The feeling that I got, this wasn't just a warning that, because everybody right now is centered on, protecting the Super Bowl and nothing happening, okay? So I got the feeling that this wasn't just a Super Bowl one, like it was something else, okay? That's the feeling I got. Okay? But a warning of other things is the feeling that I got. What has me puzzled and baffled was before this, when I was speaking in tongues, I seen a white mist come across this country. Now I know a snowstorm is coming, but this spoke to me as I seen it in the spirit realm and moved but this spoke to me as I seen in the spirit realm. It spoke to me. A move of the spirit. I felt that it meant a move of Father Yahweh's spirit. I was also told to break down everything in Exodus chapter 7, verse 9. I was told to break down everything. And this early this morning at 10, this was 10:09, okay, this morning, when I was told to do that. Now, I know a lot of people saying, here you go with these numbers and stuff, and it's okay. I'm not here to argue with none of y'all, okay? Like, I kind of got bothered because at the beginning of this, when I seen this white mist and the way that it did, it's not doing like the storm did. The storm that we get ready to have, is hitting most of the upper part of the north area. This white mist that I seen come in, it came from the west coast down like around the county and most of the half of the country, and it was going across. And the feeling that I got was, this is something that's not a snowstorm, but something that got to do with God. And that had me kind of messed up because what come out to me afterwards when I went to making that sound and all that, and because later on is when the death thing I started to hear that was almost near the end of it, and I was like, how do I get this good feeling when I seen this white mist that something good will happen, and then at the end of this happens. So it had me baffled and confused, and I know God don't operate in the spirit of confusion. But sometimes God will take and do something, and if you the type of person that's willing to seek him to get better understanding of it, he'll give it to you. Now, I'm someone that always sometimes look at things backwards, especially numbers. Now, I want y'all to listen to me real good. At the beginning of this prayer, I seen a white mist come. I got a feeling that it had something to do with God, maybe even a move of his spirit. There's a feeling that came over me. Then all this other stuff happened later. But at the end of this prayer, I was told to do all the numbers to Exodus chapter 7, verse 9. Now, this number that came out in the midday, I wrote down Wednesday or either Tuesday evening. I wrote it down initially 9548. And then something told me to take and put the 5 in front and write the number down. Just ain't no lie. And I ain't never like that when I'm talking now numbers and what I used to do. I liked that number 9548 or either 48 59. Okay? Not with the 5 in the front. Something had me to take and put the 5 in the front and then it go 5489. The number coming out today, just like that. Okay? And I ain't trying to get nobody to go play the number. I'm trying to get y'all to hear. Earlier before the number come out, I was told to do all the numbers to Exodus chapter 7, verse 9. And after I do everything, the thing that I do sometimes is I go backwards. But I didn't do it. I didn't go backwards till I seen that number that I wrote down the other day. I said, that number right there in Exodus, and I was told to take and do that this morning before the number come out. If you go to Exodus chapter 7, verse 9, listen to me carefully. You're going backwards. It's 32 words. 32 words breaks down to 5. It's 7 parts. The middle of 7 is 4. So you got the 5 and the 4, right? You got 6 words there, and you got 25 letters. 6 and 25 added up is 31. 31 breaks down to 4. So here it is. 32 breaks down to 5. 7, the middle of 7 is 4. That's 5, 4. You take and break everything down in the middle. You take and you get the number 31, which breaks down to 4. So now you got 2 4s that make 8. 5, 4, 8. And then the verse is 9. That's the number straight. Okay? Now, I don't mess around in this right here, what I'm being told to read. I don't go against Deuteronomies. Okay? I ain't trying to read no horoscope or do none of that, but I know God talks through numbers. And I know he'll talk through a worldly thing to reach people who are lost and stuck in the world. Okay? I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm tired of being broken. I've been wanting to play. But I've been asking God for his presence. I've been asking God to bless me in it. I'm not finished it up and play with it. I've been asking him to bless me with my gift. But I didn't want to move on taking and using it again in that way without him being with me, because I know if he'd be with me, he can bless me big time with it. Because we know that the devil try to bless you and put you in bondage. But if God take and do it, can't no man say that he did it. So I've been asking him to do it. I've been asking, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not finna sit up and fake it with y'all. And I wrote that number down the other. Something had me to take and write it. I don't even like it that way. But 5 represents grace, mercy, and truth. And also peace. And remember, I took and did that video on the 4th, speaking about the 458. And then if you take and you break down the 369, which I spoke of, 2369 breaks down to 18. 18 breaks down to 9. That's the number again. I did the video on the 4th. There go the number again. So what is I'm saying? I had to go backwards to take and get the number straight. So if we taking and we going backwards with what come to me, the death thing and all this other stuff came after. The first thing I seen was a white mist coming out. So is this saying to me, if I go backwards, we finna have a whole lot of stuff that's finna happen. But after this, we finna have a move of God. Now, I felt, that's what I felt. It didn't come to me that we was going to have a move of God. But I know what I was seeing was not that storm. The snowstorm. It was not the snowstorm that we have is covering most of the top parts and the East Coast. And I know that storm is getting ready to hit the East Coast and got nothing to do with that black bird I'm seeing either. It got nothing to do with it. This is something different. But what I'm trying to get y'all to see, and I'm finna ready to get off here because I've been on here too long as it is. If we go backwards and we have all the stuff that come to me afterwards, and then we look at what comes first, can it be exactly that? There's a lot of stuff that's getting ready to happen, but after this or doing this, we're going to have a powerful move of God. Could it be that? I didn't say it. I'm just asking. Now, I'm going to get off of here. I love y'all, but something is going on, y'all. Something is going on. And you witches and your warlocks, God getting ready to deal with y'all. I keep on seeing these black pots in the spirit realm. I keep on seeing them being destroyed. Keep on seeing this. I done had this vision 3 or 4 times just in the last couple of weeks. And them black pots represents cauldrons. Okay? You know, that's just a little thing the witches and warlocks get, you know, that's what it represents in the Bible. It's in Ezekiel. I can't remember exactly where, and I should know that right off the top. Many times I done read it. But God's getting ready to deal with y'all, a lot of y'all. Them old ways, a lot of people finna pay and suffer for it. Not saying that all old ways are good, but y'all know which old ways I'm talking about. One of the first warning God gave me in 2009 about a lot of women holding on to them old ways and they're using their knowledge against this old man. I own me and their own people. I done gave this warning hundreds of times. A lot of y'all in trouble because even in this, that double nickel shows up. All right, love y'all. Have a blessed day. I hope y'all pray, heed the warning, you know, because prayer, God answer prayer, but it got to come from the heart. It's something going on, y'all.